long as we're telling stories.
Yeah, well, I think that's the point.
We had an episode where a guy had invented Vitabeer. Do you remember Vitabeer?
Yeah.
So it was beer with vitamins in it, so you could drink beer and lose weight. And I went to the guy, and he was going to use me he was going to give me free Vitabeer if I agreed to do a testimonial for him.
Yeah.
Was the plot. And I was like, sure. So he needed a before and after picture. So
I want to get shit for this.
we shot the before picture in Cleveland, and the idea was I'm supposed to have my shirt off and hold and wave, and that was the before picture. Yeah. And I remember telling Bruce and Deb Oppenheimer, who's sitting off camera, a producer on the show. I remember telling them, like, all right, listen, we're going to do this photo shoot. It was a guy from Cleveland that shot it. We shot it in Cleveland that weekend.
I didn't know that.
And it was all in a sealed off area, covered up. And I was like, we're going to shoot this. I don't want anybody seeing the proofs. This is going to be, I still have a lot of body shame about how fat I am. And I was like, nobody's going to see this.
Also, we tore it up when we were in Cleveland. I mean, we tore it up. So you weren't losing weight in Cleveland.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
We were drinking in every club.
Oh, my God.
And so we were I said, nobody's going to see the proofs. Just take the picture. So I did my thing. My shirt, I was like super uncomfortable. Just Bruce and Deb and the photographer and the photographer's assistant. And then they secretly got me the proofs. And we'll pick that one. Total silence. I don't want anybody seeing this and getting out. And the script. See, the whole time I denied that this was going to be on TV on a big hit show.
You're not just Drew Carey. You're Drew Carey.
It's not just that it was going to be on TV. We had to go shoot it outdoors.
Yeah. So the gag was that I'm waiting for a bus and people are honking at me, and I look up and I see a billboard with that picture on it.
Yeah.
And the second half of the show is me, Oswald, and Lewis trying to get the billboard down.
That's right.
And so I'm like, I forget all about this shoot we did. Me and my fat ass, my fat belly, and me waving. And then, we had such a good craft service that drivers that would go and drop off stuff at the other things would find an excuse to pop by our show and make a sandwich. Like they would drop off like a pencil just to be able to get.
Gilmore Girls came by. Remember?
Everybody came by.
Yeah.
Everybody came by. We had such a good craft service.
Yeah.
And and I remember people were like, "Hey, Drew, great billboard." Hey, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they had built a billboard on the Warner Brothers lot,
a full-size billboard.
a full-size billboard on the Warner Brothers lot that everybody in the Warner Brothers lot saw. And then I was like, "Oh my God!" I just forgot. Honestly, I was like, "Oh my God!" And so when we went to film it, I look up and there's this giant billboard of me with my shirt off, and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I was mortified, but I got it.
You were
but
a
I
good
was,
sport about it.
and I was just like, "Oh shit!" And I had a bronze statue made of it that I still have at home.
No.
Yeah, I have a bronze statue of that
yeah.
picture that I had made that's still at home in my office. But then, so we did that, and I was like, well, like, screw it now. And I'd seen the full Monty in the movie theater, and I said, well, let's just do a full Monty episode where we just take it all. Like,
it's a lot of people's favorite episode.
Like, screw it now. I've already taken my shirt off. Like, who cares at this point? And so we did a full Monty episode where we were totally naked. You weren't.
Yeah.
You wore a little pouch thing.
I wore a little pouch.
Me and Mr. Wick were the only ones that got totally naked.
Yeah.
And you and Ryan and
TV's Larry.
I worked with Tobolowski later on. And I said, "Hey, you're the guy. I know you. You're the guy who was with us, and you saw Drew Carey naked."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. It was me."
Yeah, we had to go. We took Mr. Wick's dog and we did something to it. It was an expensive dog, and we had it shaved or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
And castrated.
A story by Deb.
Castrated?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we had to get a new dog, but they were expensive.
Yeah.
So we didn't know how to raise the money. So we decided to put on a male strip show, like in the full Monty. And the first one we did, we spun boxes around our crotches, and the cops came in and busted it. And then to get out of being arrested and paying a fine, we had to go before the city council and
show there was art.
And do the act. Like, just give us a chance. Let us show you what it looked like. And they were all right. So cue the music, and Krista Miller, I think, hit the button and put the music. They were laughing so hard that they were going to see us. Yeah, Kate Walsh and Krista Miller, they were going to see us naked. And they were like, "Oh boy, it's going to start." And I was like, "Oh God." And cleared the set.
Put walls around.
And then
Speaking
we did
of
our
Jamie Tarsis. She was there adjusting like the
we did our naked
stands.
Yeah, and at the time
it was a striptease.
Yeah, and at the end of the thing, we ripped off our boxer shorts and threw them away and had our hands above our head. And the last shot was from behind us because we were on before 10 o'clock on ABC. That had a rule that you couldn't show butt crack, even though they had shown butt crack on NYPD Blue.
Yeah,
you
famously.
couldn't show butt crack. Yeah, famously.
Someone has to get killed on a show before you can do it.
Yeah,
Right.
and so they put mic stands in the foreground to cover our butt cracks.
Yeah.
So
we had to stand there while I adjusted the mic stands to get the shot.
It was the longest time I've stood like
But we had a T-shirt
They
made.
didn't have stand-ins for that. We were just standing there. I had a little sock around my Johnson, and it was just like this. And little Jamie Tarsus adjusting mic stands over my crack.
We made a T-shirt though because there was also a shot without the microphones.
Yeah, of course.
And we had a T-shirt made.
Well, that's what
and
we showed the
it's
crowd
all the
live.
guys from the back with their butts showing.
It was a joke about Friends.
And the joke was about Friends. Friends was everybody used to say Friends. It's all about the hair. And the T-shirt says, "It's not about the hair."
That's what sort of butt stuff. The T-shirt said it's not about the hair. It was a crew gift for getting everybody.
That was great. But we did, that was a big deal. And we brought out the original cast of the full Monty, but because they couldn't get work visas in time, they're on camera in the bar later on waving to the camera. They're not allowed to say a word.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to.
Yeah, so we cut to them in the crowd shot.
We really wanted them to be on the
And
show.
because everybody agreed to get naked, I was like, you know what? Let's go out and celebrate. So I got a private jet to fly us out to Vegas after the taping, right?
Totally after the taping.
It was right after the taping. And we had a table read the next day.
Yeah, that was the worst.
We had a table read the
I've ever
next
had.
day. So we taped on Tuesday. Table read was on Wednesday. So we get done with the taping. Me, Diedrich, Ryan, everybody, the full Monty guys. We all got on a private jet. We go to Las Vegas. And we got, can I tell how drunk we got?
Epically drunk.
Epically drunk. Like I used to drink a lot and I got wasted. And we started out drinking
I used to
and
drink a
playing
lot,
craps.
and even for that time, that was the most.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
And
Like staggeringly drunk.
it
was amazing.
It was amazing. We started,
No regrets.
No regrets. Well, one regret. I'll tell you the story.
There's always one.
We were supposed to leave and fly back
to do the table read
8 in the morning
Oh my
or
God,
something like that. So at 6 something in the morning, we're trying to rally everybody to have breakfast.
Yeah, and you actually called the day because we were laughing. So it was so useless. It was totally useless.
I got so drunk and I didn't get any sleep.
No, we didn't sleep at all. We
might
just
have-
went into a table read.
I might have closed my eyes
completely loaded.
I might have closed my eyes for a second on the private jet on the way back, but then we went right to work. Like I didn't even go home. And then we show up and it's like 11 o'clock. We do the table read and I'm barely functioning. And we do the table read, and there's a scene where I started.
1 second, Drew is. Well, you go ahead.
Oh,
sorry.
I start laughing during the
that's what I was
scene.
about to say, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was laughing so hard, then I just started crying.
Yes.
Like tears were like.
But he kept going on as if it was going well.
Tears were streaming down my face, and I'm like, tears are coming down my face. And the director, I forget his name, he goes, you know what? Why don't we take a couple-hour break? That's how directors are. They always tap their hand.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a couple-hour break, a little
break.
lunch break? And I'm
I think
like,
it was Jerry Cohen. Yeah.
So we should.
no, it wasn't Jerry Cohen. It was the
the
other
other
guy. And then I go to my trailer. I lay down. I crash. I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I had
meeting with Bob
a
Daly
lunch
then.
meeting with Bob Daly, who was the president of Warner Brothers, not Warner Brothers TV, but the head of Warner Brothers.
Oh, right. That was thinking TV.
At the executive thing, it's just going to be me and him in the executive dining
You're
room.
that.
And I slept through it.
You made him enough money.
I slept through it. Well,
It's okay.
I ran into him at a big dinner birthday party for this famous guy. And Bob Daly was there with Carol Bayer Sager. And
Sure.
I was like, hey, Drew Carey, I used to be on Warner, but I don't know if you remember, but I overslept that lunch. And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, don't worry about it. Robert Redford did the same thing to me.
What?
And
You and Robert Redford?
he overslept
That's not
the
the first
lunch
time
he was
I've
supposed to have with me too. And I go, well, I'm really sorry about that. And he goes, don't worry, you made a lot more money for me than Robert Redford.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's all okay, kid.
Yeah, it's all okay.
Yeah.
So he forgave me, but I was like, and I would have been useless at this
Then
lunch anyway. I would have been crying through the whole lunch.
No, you would have cried and then thought you were doing well.
Let's talk about Drew Carey's future here at Warner Brothers. And, oh my God.
I think you're doing well. That was my favorite part was that you thought it was okay. Like,
I
you
just wanted to
kept
keep going.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stop. And the director was like, let's think about all right. I'm so good.
I think the focus of our show is like so many actors on sitcoms were trying to prove that they They were more interested, let me put it this way, they were more interested in making themselves cry than they were in making the audience laugh. And the Drew Carey Show was all about making the audience laugh. Like you were particularly obsessed with that just making it as funny as possible. We did a whole Emmy show.
About us trying to get an Emmy and a Golden Globe.
It
was actually one of my
I think it was
favorites.
actually called "Please Give Us an Emmy," and it was. And
I
we
was
did every.
dying
we did
in a
every,
hospital bed.
We did every.
Yes.
We did every
Step in
trope. Every trope. Drew says he's looking at a book. Goes, I don't know how to read. Every trope and every drama and everybody ever
Didn't we
used.
step in the spotlights and do confessions and things?
Yes, it was every kind of
Oh
gimmick
man,
to try
we
and.
hammed it up. That was
Yeah,
great.
it was
I
really
love
fun.
that episode.
I remember Ryan being particularly funny on that.
because I
episode.
remember that was like, as far as I'm concerned, that was my big FU to everybody.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, you hated awards.
We didn't care about the award. It was like we were happy to we were making
paycheck was my reward.
We were having
Come on, we're getting paid to be funny. It's great.
we had years of fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, no, my God, it was so great.
When you talk to other people about the shows and shows they've been on, I was on a show for 10 years. Thank God I got off. It was like it wasn't like that. We enjoyed ourselves every
Time
day.
is fleeting. Madness takes its toll.
It was a battle between the two cult films.
Yeah.
It was Rocky Horror audience versus
That was a
movie,
good one.
and the Priscilla Queen of the Desert
Yeah.
audience.
Great choreography on that. Keith?
We had all the best choreographers because Broadway was dead at that point.
Right.
So all the best choreographers, Debbie Allen, everybody came out and did stuff for us and choreographed.
Do you remember how many musical numbers, I should say, other shows did after we did those?
Yeah, a bunch of people copied it.
That was a
afterwards.
crazy
Yeah,
thing.
but never the same. For us, it was like also always made it fun. We would literally block it out, like the things that were going to happen during the thing. It wasn't just dancing. There was an element of story going through or whatever.
Right.
The only one that was tied to actual story was love, because that was Drew talking to Krista about loving her. Otherwise, they were always freestanding musical numbers that were like at the beginning of the show or somewhere at the end or whatever.
What although I said that thing about making themselves cry. There was an episode which was really beautiful that these aren't on the questions there, but you did a thing with Kate Walsh, a great arc.
That was a
with Kate
very
Walsh.
very tough episode.
Oh, the breakup scene.
Yeah, it was really good.
One of the best things. Yeah, Kate's a wonderful actress.
Great actress.
Anyway, and
She's really pretty.
She's super pretty.
Kate and Drew
Put her in a fat suit.
for a whole season, a whole season together.
A great arc of her
and
slowly
the arc
gaining weight.
was that she had been fighting weight all her life, and then with Drew, who ate comfortably, she was all of a sudden eating all the time, and she gained a lot of weight. We put her in a suit. We
Took this hot actress with
put her in this huge
smoking body and
fat
put her in a
suit.
fat suit.
And,
Welcome to the Drew Carey Show.
and so she and Drew decided to make a sex tape, and while they were doing it, the TV was a monitor, and they could see what looked like what they were doing, and she looked at herself and was so upset with herself that she left and broke up with him. And the end of the show.
Are we still talking about the show?
And the end of the show was Drew just sitting there listening to the music of the sex tape, looking at it, and just sad.
Yeah.
About having lost that
But it was
love.
well shot because I
It was-
remember it was from the POV of just that video camera, and the way that it was blocked.
It was It was. After coming off of Roseanne, I had to resist a lot of my instincts because Drew's instincts were better, which was funny, just going for the funny. I was still messing around with the idea of a lot of the Roseanne show that I did was very much about. There were a lot of wrenching things. As much as it was funny, there was also things that were very uncomfortable for the audience and stuff, and intentionally so. And so we didn't go there very often, but we did. The show always had a great sense of humanity about it, always, and it was always rooted in. It was grounded in things, and then it would take a flight of fancy from the grounding.
Yeah.
But that particular episode, I thought that was like one of the best acting things. When I watched that, I actually got tears watching you sitting
It's a
there.
beautiful moment in television.
Shut up.
Attention, everyone! It's time for a fire drill. Johnson, you're fired. Well, then, I guess it's not really a drill, is it?
And Mr. Wick would come out and fire people all the time
Yeah,
to open up
Craig,
a scene.
The great Craig Ferguson added
Yeah.
in the second
Johnson?
season. Yeah.
Yeah, he would find some guy named Johnson and fire him.
It was always somebody named Johnson when he fired him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there was a scene where they were supposed to be smoking cigars, him and Johnson, and he lights a cigar and he goes, "Johnson, you're fired," and smokes a cigar. So naturally, the prop department bought the most expensive, best Cuban cigars they could find because they just needed one, but why not buy a whole box that everybody could have free cigars?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So they bought these expensive Cuban cigars. And so while that was going on, I was cleaning up my office at my house, and I came across this old stash of
Loads?
of cigarette loads, which were tiny little slivers of wood
Explosives.
with like gunpowder soaked into it. And you would stick them at the end of a cigarette. When somebody would light the cigarette, it would explode the end of the cigarette.
Daffy Duck.
And that was the prank. And I found them, and I was like, I have these, and nobody knows I have these. So I went into work, and Ryan smoked. So I was in Ryan's trailer just shooting the shit with Ryan. We also hang out in Ryan's trailer, the doors open. And
Ryan's
I'm like,
trailer was like Party Central.
blah,
It was
blah,
really fun.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And he would get up, and I would try to get the cigarette loads and get a cigarette. And he was finally like, what's going on? And I like, I just got these cigarette loads.
Yeah.
And then, so Ryan caught me because I was being really stupid about it. I couldn't get them. And then I told the prop guy, I said, stick this in the cigars that Mr. Wick's going to use. It'll be really funny.
Yeah.
Like put 3 of them in there. Yeah. And he put 3 of them in there and in the cigar. And this would be funny because when Ferguson goes down the thing, he'll light the cigar, it'll blow up on stage on him. And we could do another take, but it'll be really funny to see his reaction. I thought it'd be really funny. And
On paper.
Famous.
so they start the scene, and he comes out, and the cigars aren't lit. And I was like, what the f-? Yeah. I was like, what the f-? And I talked to the prop guy. He goes, yeah, they wouldn't allow us to have lit cigars on the show.
Yeah.
Because smoking. And I was like, f-. And I
Episode's ruined.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Next day, because everybody heard this thing that about what happened to Ryan, me trying to get Ryan. We're all in, me and Diedrich, the whole cast is in Ryan's trailer hanging out.
Yeah.
Jerry Cohen, the director, comes up, he comes up and he has a cigar. Because it's all free cigars now. He has a cigar and he's standing at the door and he goes, hey, Ryan, anything blow up on you lately? Boom. The cigar blew up in his face.
It's just like in the cartoons. He actually jumped.
He jumped up like a foot.
like a foot. Yeah.
He was standing, he goes, jumps up a foot. And I remember we were like, I think some of us were on the floor because we were like,
I fell off the couch,
literally on the floor.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because it was
like
the smugness right before.
it really was. So, everything blow up on you. Boom.
Hey, Styles. I mean, it was like so over the top.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there was remember the big squirt gun fight? In one show, Mimi had like a what do they call those? The big splasher guns.
Oh, yeah. Power. What are they?
What's the squirt gun? What is it? Like a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it.
Super soakers.
Super soakers.
Super soakers, yeah.
I had a super soaker. So, and I said to one of the writers, I said, having a super soaker on stage is something we're all going to regret. And so, sure enough, show's over. Audience.
He really was the dad.
Audience applauds. Audience leaves. Gets ready to leave. All of a sudden, droop. And I'm like, oh shit. So we were ready. We had super soakers planted all over the set. So we all grabbed super soakers and we're all swinging. Bruce Rasmussen got on Drew's back, literally got on Drew's back, was trying to wrestle the soaker away from him. And Drew aimed it backward and shot him in the face over his shoulder and everything else. That was great. That was really
Rasmussen
great.
was a lot of
I
fun.
knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Talking about like really wild episodes that we did. The one where we went to China, when I say we, was not me, but how did that happen and what was that like?
I thought we should go to China.
Yeah. Is that it?
I just thought
It's a short story.
What has nobody else has done it?
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something. It was like somebody had gone to Russia maybe or something. I thought,
Did I mention Bruce didn't travel?
I don't fly.
Yeah, you didn't
So
fly.
I said we should do a show in China, and we worked out all the logistics. Deb Oppenheimer.
Didn't Jerry and Deb go to China first to scope it out?
Yeah, to scope it out and where we were going to shoot.
Yeah.
And it was during a time when China wasn't that friendly. So, matter of fact, there were actually a lot of actors that we wanted to have on
As
the
they
show.
are now.
Yeah, so I was thinking that. Yeah.
There were a lot of actors. There was one actress who was in the movie. I think the movie called Red Lantern. She wanted to be on the show. We wanted to hire her, but the government of China said she's not allowed in our country.
Wow.
There were things like that, a lot of stuff like that. But it seemed like a wonderful idea, and so the cast and crew went to China, shot on the wall of China, shot in a small town, a small village.
Yeah, Bruce had never been to China. And we went to this village, and he's like, "No, more chickens. There's got to be more chickens."
Deb Oppenheimer
got this idea in his head
show
what a
me
Chinese village
would show
would be.
me videos of what the thing. Like I go, that would be a good spot to do that, or that might be a good spot for that, or whatever. And
I just remember like, no, it should have more chickens
More chickens.
in my head.
Yeah. And there were more chickens.
Chinese
Yeah.
village.
there were logistics, the things that they didn't want. Obviously, you guys to shoot.
Oh, we were on some like special. I rolled down the stairs at this one monument that was really a big deal to them, and I desecrated it.
I think it was someone who was buried there who was very important.
Yeah, and I desecrated the monument by rolling down it and laughing or doing some kind of scene.
Right, yeah.
And the guy, I remember this like guy getting really mad and yelling at me in Chinese or yelling at us in Chinese, yelling at somebody in Chinese.
Yeah.
About what we did. And I remember the Warner Brothers liaison that we had in China getting really mad at us. Well, thanks a lot. Now we're not going to be able to made my job really harder.
Yeah.
Because we pissed off the Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we snuck in some shots. We're not supposed to shoot at the wall that has a big picture of Mao in Tiananmen Square. And so our camera guy just said, "Okay, cut." And then they just casually just turned the camera around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't want us to show
We got
Mao.
that. Yeah, we weren't allowed to shoot that. We had that.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
I mean, I got to say, it was a very positive experience for me going to China.
Yeah.
And
I thought I remembered that.
seeing everybody. Like, I've been all over the world on like vacations and USO trips in China. And like the regular people are the same.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everybody just wants to be left alone, raise a family, not have any arguments.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah. So the whole China experience was just great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that was one crazy episode.
Yeah. And what about the Batmobile? Because that
was
for
Sam's
a lot
idea.
of fans, that was like a really fun episode.
Sam Simon's idea.
Yeah. So the idea was, they actually had a contest, I think, at Taco Bell that you want to ride in the Batmobile or whatever.
Wait,
it was.
this is in reality or on the show?
In reality, I think they had a thing where you could win a day in the Batmobile.
Oh, and that's what gave Sam the idea.
we made this thing where we had the Batmobile available to us because of Warner Brothers. So what do you call it? They actually had a number of Batmobiles available. We picked the one. So I sit down with Drew and they said, "Do not drive this car." And Drew says, "What do you see what this thing can do?" So I'm sitting in the car, and all it is it just has a gigantic ball of gas that pours into an engine, and the thing shoots fire and goes for like a minute or whatever it could do. They pulled you most of the time, but so Drew actually turned it on, and we made this huge noise and lurched forward, and the guy came over and says, "What are you doing? No, don't do that."
So the theme is you're going to get yelled at by somebody.
Remember, it just had a big tank of gasoline just poured right into it.
I got to sit in the Batmobile. That's all I know.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then we had Mimi in there. He goes, "I caught the Joker."
Yeah, one of our biggest laugh spreads, if I remember correctly.
When you guys showed up as Batman and Robin.
When you guys showed up as Batman and Robin, you were still in the car and went out as Batman and Robin.
People
I didn't know what they were going to be. I didn't know what
they
they were going to be dressed like. And there was a knock at the door in my house.
You and Kate both hadn't seen
and I opened up the door, and they were standing there in their Batman and Robin costumes, and I just lost my shit.
So yeah, he and Kate Walsh had not seen
and they were with the police.
So their reactions are genuine. Like you could see this online. People have seen that scene a ton of times, and your reaction is really genuine. Kate is really trying to.
I'm glad they never showed us the costumes because it was so damn funny. It's how somebody would have reacted in real life if they saw their friends dressed like that.
Smart idea.
Yeah. No, that was really funny.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah.
That was
because we looked so forlorn.
Well, you came in so full shame.
Yes. Superhero shame.
You're driving around and pretending to be Batman and Robin.
But we were gods at the Quickie Mart or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
This was really cool. I hope you guys had a good time. It was really fun for me. I think you guys might have had a good time. I'm hoping.
It was great. Yeah.
It was fun to talk. We'd love to do some more. If you smash those likes, you watch it a ton of times, we'll come back and we'll talk more about the show. We'll really get into the nitty gritty. And remember, buy Buzz Beer.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks, Buzz Beer.